The jazz note. He's got it in there.
Go again.
No, I don't want to do it again.
No, go again.
I'll just it up a second time then.
It's just, so all it is here, so we're going.
It's a little lesson for you here. So that loop, as you could hear, started in a relatively straightforward, F sharp. You could play F sharp kind of minor blues over the top of it, was fine. And then it did something weird in the middle where it kind of, you could stay in the same position, but it took on like a major vibe, or maybe you were going to play like an A minor blues in there. I couldn't work it out.
What's those oops notes, right? So it's funny because we watched a little video the other day on Instagram, and it's this big band, and there's this guy playing like a jazz solo, and
on
you
a saxophone,
see on a
right?
saxophone, and you see these guys, and I was saying, I messaged it out and said this note would never have gone. They would never have been okay in any other music than jazz. And the guy playing this thing, and you see the faces of the band.
Yeah, all the other guys are going like,
oh yeah, that's all right. And it's like, and then he plays this note like I was literally playing like, it's like a note and he keeps it. And you see the faces of people going, oh my God, what's going on there? What's going on there? And then he goes, no, and the chord sort of changes into it. And then they're going, oh yes.
Yeah, it's the resolve, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the resolve of it.
It's so clever, but probably only works in jazz.
It only works in jazz because they understand that there are no wrong notes, basically. There are no wrong notes, but they sound wrong, but they're not wrong.
So anyway,
so yeah, I mean...
Was that it? Are we... So how... Okay, look, so we're going to tell you about some FSR guitars, which won't take terribly long, but more interestingly...
Exactly. You got this minor. And of course, it's A, and it's the parallel key, it's F minor. So it's not wrong. None of them are wrong.
Yeah.
It fits together, the chords. But so the first one is just like.
So that's just normal position 1 pentatonic bluesy.
Exactly.
Happy Days.
Happy Days, and then it goes to A, to D, to B major, which and then to an E major 7. So they're all 7s. So, and then, because they're all 7s, I would just play.
But it didn't sound right.
But you can also play.
So you like a major type A blues.
You can still play that F minor pentatonic in it, as long as you don't play the wrong notes in it, or play. So it's what can we do? Can we just get the chords going here? Let's see.
Without the drums. So this is all your normal blues stuff, yep.
It's still normal blues. I mean, the cool thing is
that
you
aren't really changing.
I'm not chasing. I'm just watching the notes I'm playing, making sure I don't play those oops notes.
Because I mean, fundamentally, for me anyway, as a real layman, the difference between playing the shape where you're essentially, the difference between playing, say, an F sharp minor pentatonic, versus A major,
just an A
pentatonic, it's the same. It's the same shape scale, but you can't resolve on the same notes, can you?
I think when you play pentatonic 5 notes,
5 notes,
there's many less notes to get wrong, isn't there? Than if you're playing that.
Yeah.
See that note right there, it doesn't work in that, but I can play
it works as a passing note, I think.
I can play that all the way along. But I can also play. I can also play, I can literally move, because it's all 7. I mean, I'm teaching people how to play. I just go for the notes that sound good and don't play the notes that sounds bad. Like that one. That's fine there, but...
Yeah, it's not nice there, is it?
What is that? It's like it is in the chord because it's the third, right? But it just sounds out of. That doesn't sound. It's right. It's not wrong.
It's not even the first chord that it sounds wrong over. It's the second chord.
You know, it's because it's not the third, and then it becomes wrong. Anyway, whatever. Play what sounds good. So, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to Andertons TV. Absolutely categorically not the place to go and learn how to play guitar, but absolutely categorically the place to find out about what gear you should be playing on.
Yeah. Oh,
God, it's a long way of. That's our new strapline, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Don't learn guitar from us because we're so out of it.
FSR, Fender Special Run. You know that by now, don't you? Because we've done hundreds of these over the last few years.
Fender Special One.
Typically what happens is we find a guitar that we really, really like in the Fender guitar range or the Squier guitar range, and we go, oh, could we just literally change this little bit of it? And Fender are very amenable to doing that as long as we order enough. So we've got three guitars to show you today. Yeah. One is from the Player series, which comes out of Mexico, kind of like the mid-price stuff. Yeah. So this is Player Plus HSS, but with American pickups on it, which we like to do.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Nice
it's not the only change, also roasted maple neck as well, but that's lovely. And I think this will be super popular.
I think so.
I think it's in a colour that they don't do Player Plus in as well. Anyway, come to that in a minute. Let's do these two first. Ultra, absolutely, categorically, probably our favourite standard American release of the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think they're really cool, aren't they? They nailed it.
This went from the Elite series, which was kind of cool, to the Ultra series, and they changed a lot on the Ultra series. They changed neck carves, they changed pickups, they changed contour on the heel joints,
like a soft finish neck.
They put the nice lacquer. Anyway, they made lots of changes that we really, really liked. The standard Ultra has a rosewood board. And in terms of the actual construction of the guitar, the only constructional, that's not even a word,
constructional, but that's a good word though.
Between these FSRs and a regular Ultra are the ebony fretboards versus rosewood. Yeah. These are a Mikasa ebony, so it's like a brown figured ebony as opposed to the very dark black ebony boards that you might associate with, like, I don't know, a Les Paul Custom or something like that. Then we've done anodized metal plates, gold ones on these, and it's just the colours that are different. So this
looks quite familiar,
Mystic Pine and
Plum Surprise purple.
Plum Surprise, is it? For whatever reason, this is not called purple, but it's purple, right? But it's plum.
My plums, beautiful bluish hue. The sun just dancing right off of them, just nice.
I think it's less metallic than say my Telecaster, which this looks a bit like.
I think it's a beautiful guitar.
I think it's a beautiful guitar, and I think that I'm surprised that I don't have one of these.
Tones, please.
Just putting it out there.
Mr. Pete.
Just putting it out there.
Again, if you like the sound of this guitar, but the colour's not doing it for you, I said this is ostensibly, apart from the fretboard, just as the same as a regular Ultra. There's a little bit of an upcharge. You might find these are 100 or 200 quid more than a regular Ultra, but of course, you get to have a colour that only another 50 odd people in the world will probably have or something. It's very limited.
Come with a really nice case as well and all this stuff. So you've got a three-way selector switch, but you also got this S1 switch here in the middle, which makes it like you've got like this humbucker type vibe in it. I like that this has got a little.
Is that the treble beat?
It's got the sound. It's got it locks in. So when you get it there.
You know what I know what that is? Okay, so that I forget whether this is called grease bucket or what the circuit is, but the idea is when the tone control is all the way up, that little notch essentially means the whole pot is bypassed.
Yeah.
So you lose no tone at all.
Yeah, which is good. I like that little notch, but anyway, tones, Friedman. Sounds
little
like
sister,
a
baby blue little sister.
Take the compressor off. Noiseless pickups in here.
If you saw that guitar in half, is it basically a fruit and nut bar? Is that what it is? Let's not have let's
fruit.
not have the great chocolate debates
Let's not
now.
go there again.
Danish people don't like English chocolate. Apparently,
Nobody likes English
no one
chocolate.
likes English chocolate other
apart
than
from English people.
Bill Kelleher did. Bill Kelleher likes it.
He liked Kit Kats, didn't he?
Kit Kats, yeah, but that's
100%.
that's not
what
an
did,
English
what did Bill
chocolate.
say? He wanted the ultimate snack would be a Kit Crack.
A crack cat.
Or a crack kit.
Yeah,
Kit
crack cat.
Can't remember.
A crack
Anyway.
cat, so you open it up and crack comes out of it. Anyway. It's middle position. That's nice and spanky.
We should probably say actually that the pickups on these are noiseless pickups.
Yeah.
Fender have been dallying with noiseless pickups since way back in the 80s when they started fitting the lace sensor pickups to their guitars.
Yeah.
I think this is
Like
a
this.
5th generation now of their own noiseless pickup, and the
least.
holy grail is basically, can I make a single coil pickup that sounds like a vintage single coil pickup but just doesn't hum
With no
when you
noise.
have gain on it?
Yeah.
And I kind of think every revision that Fender do, they get a step closer.
Yeah.
I like these a lot.
Yes. Bridge. Nice, and then if I put the S1 Switch in the middle. Which is just great, isn't it? You get that fat
It's the-
sort of humbucker,
I have a bit of a
thing.
sort of a love-hate relationship with, all this kind of advanced modified switching on guitars. I initially go, oh, that's good because I've got new sounds, and then I realise I don't really like any of them better than the 5 basic sounds.
Yeah.
But the one thing I think that Fender did, or maybe they didn't invent it, I don't know, but this idea of going in the middle position, the standard wiring of the 2 single coils on a Telecaster are more akin to the way that 2 single coils on a Strat would be wired. They're further apart, so you get a different kind of sound.
Yeah.
But essentially, by pushing this in, it wires them like a humbucker would be.
Yeah.
And that's why the sound becomes much fatter.
Fatter, exactly. It's like getting a book on...
And that is worth it. I think that is a genuinely
Absolutely.
good extra tone to have.
Yeah, I've got it on a Telecaster, and I really like it. Once in a while.
Some manufacturers will put a 4-way switch on them, so just one of the 4 positions will be that different wired middle position. On this guitar, Fender have stuck with a 3-way switch and a.
I like the Switch. I like the Switch. I do.
Kind of cool, right?
I was saying it's like buying getting a book on tantric sex for Christmas and then testing out like 5 or 30 different positions and finding out you only really like the 3 anyway.
Fine. I mean, isn't tantric the one where you don't touch each other? You just basically sit
That's what I
looking
mean,
at
yeah.
each
That
other?
is 50 positions of tantric sex.
Wow.
You sit over there in that sofa over there, and I'll sit on my phone, you sit on your phone, and we'll just...
Do you think Sting gave Rick Beato one of those books as like a thank you for doing that
They had
interview last
tantric
year?
sex, I heard.
Actually,
They went it on
they did.
in the whole interview.
Wow.
If you look at it, he's like that all the way through it, Rick Beato. Right, let's try it.
Okay. Now
He's like this.
that's it. There you go, Rick. You want your 10 million view video, your 100 million view video. I mean, you'll probably do it anyway.
Get tickled by
That's
Sting.
it. You want Sting back for a tantric sex video. Wow.
So, right, talking of noiseless pickups, let's. I just added the Dane
Look
for
at
some
that,
gain.
no noise.
And now that's
Literally
the Dane.
no discernible difference in noise.
Have a listen.
Oh, tiny.
All right, I'll put the Halcyon on. I'm going to put on the Deco on top of that.
I mean, all of that hiss, though, that's not the guitar making the hiss. I reckon that's just
Yeah.
extra. But if that was a normal pickup, these things
I'm
would
turning
be,
it up
you'd be
now.
getting like...
Look,
bzzz.
That's 3 overdrives on.
Yeah, that's
Let
very
me
clever.
put a protein on.
Yeah.
Let me put the other side of the protein on.
So this is 5 overdrive pedals now.
1, 2,
on
3, 4, 5. Yeah. So
But
that.
yeah, so that
So that's
that
a lot,
hum
isn't
that,
it?
I think don't they call it in the States? I think it's 60 cycle hum or something. But that kind of inherent hum that a single
Yeah.
coil pickup has, particularly if you've ever been at a gig or whatever like that, and
Yeah,
the
ever
lighting
really
rig is
loved a
causing
woman.
tons and tons of hum, or you're in a recording studio with like 1,000 things plugged into the mains,
Yeah.
whatever. It's a really handy feature to have. on a
Anyway,
guitar.
Dane on,
Anyway, yes.
Bridge. with the S1 Switch in. It just sounds great, man. What a great guitar.
Yeah.
Again, I have to say, 9s on this. I know people like 9s, but I think
it's Fender, right?
Just
it's,
like
apart
that.
From
I just
custom shop where they put 10s on
just
stuff.
slightly plinky plink.
It's like all Fender guitars from Squires all the way through to Ultra series just have 9 to 42 strings.
Can I just do fuzz quickly?
A tasty little lick in there. There you are.
So this one is
Purple
staying
tellies
here.
suit you.
There's something
tellies
about
suit
it, isn't
you.
it? I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah.
But
I like the belly cut on the Ultra.
Yeah, you get belly cuts a little.
Again, it's been a couple of years since these were released and we did the launch video for these, so apologies if I've forgotten all of the spec, but there will be a video on the Andertons channel where we deep dive into the Ultra.
Yeah.
I remember the neck carve was something where you had this concept of
it's like that, isn't
compound.
it?
Well, you've got this idea that I think we're fairly familiar with the idea of the radius of the fretboard changing as we go up the fretboard, but they're now messing with actually the sort of the carve of the back of the neck now goes from being a little bit more sort of V-shaped and chord friendly down here to a little sort of flatter and maybe solo friendly up here. Clever people.
Super
at
cool
Fender.
guitar,
Anyway,
isn't it? Wow.
I will butcher the Strat for 2 minutes. I won't play it as well as Pete played the Tele.
Oh,
but
stop it, man!
Trust
Stop
me,
up! Stop
still
it!
a good guitar.
Stop it!
So here is my no pedals straight into the Victory V140, which is very clean.
Sounds excellent. Scwamby.
Dual fulcrum, sort of dual pivot trem system. Steel block.
Oh, the plate as well, look at that.
Yeah, back plate matches the front plate. Noiseless pickups. We have the S1 Switch, but that is now used to, rather than change, it doesn't do quite the same as on the Telecaster. It just gives me extra positions.
Hang on.
Excellent. Okay, I'll start the... Right, so here is the neck pickup. So here's the neck pickup. Middle. These two.
Sounds good,
Bridge. That stinks, Pete. Really, probably one of the worst ones you've ever done.
It's really bad, isn't it?
I quite like with the Strat to put a bit of compression on the top, so I've got the little whitey tighty from
Tighty,
JHS
whitey,
here,
tighty.
which is... Anyway, get some nice sounds with a bit of compressor,
Great,
fattens
man.
it up a bit. Mild ganache from a Carbon. Anyway,
Nice.
that's the Strat. I don't want to go on too much about these because, again, it's not
Yeah,
like
there's
a
not many
brand new
of them,
guitar.
no.
It's just like a funky color. So let's talk about this one, which is, I must admit, my favorite and probably the best-selling FSRs that we've done with Fender over the last 4 or 5 years is where we've taken the road-worn series, which comes out of Mexico. It's their kind of, relict or aged series of guitars. And upgraded the pickups to American pickups. They always seem to sort of hit this great value price point. This idea of just trying to get a guitar that's under £1,000, but that is absolutely epically spec'd. And so we decided to try and do the same thing with Player Plus. So Player Plus on its own is a sort of £850, £900, this is pounds money, America, not, weight, guitar. I'll be honest with you, they kind of went with some slightly crazier colours on the last sort of Player Plus
it was like there was
range, which wasn't everyone's cup of tea. And so I felt we kind of wanted to just try and pick a sort of contemporary, unusual colour combination between the guitar and the scratch plate, but one that felt traditional at the same time. So this charcoal frost metallic with the torque guard, I think looks absolutely mint. I'm relatively sure that at some point we'll have seen John Mayer playing a colour combination like that and gone, oh, I like that a lot. Or something like that.
Oh, look at that, that's cool.
We put a roasted maple neck on it. So again, normally this would have a slightly lighter sort of tint on it, but it's that's all that is. That's why it's a little bit darker.
Me like it.
Locking tuners are a standard feature on Player Plus. It's got a flatter radius fretboard than a traditional. But the main change is these are American vintage 65 pickups. So again, the same pickups would come on an American 1965 reissue Strat. And this is a Shawbucker one, but we asked Fender to put a covered humbucker on there. I was sort of I think there's something classy about covered humbuckers at the back of an HSS guitar rather than the open coil pickups. Obviously all subjective. So they did a Shawbucker one. This pickup was last used on the American Professional Deluxe Tele. So it's a Shawbucker one, which you don't normally see with a cover on it, but that's what it is. And the Shawbucker one is a kind of a sweet sounding Alnico 2 magnet, not too hot pickup. It's like more, I would say, sort of PAFE or whatever. But Tim Shaw, by the way, is like the pickup maker to the stars.
The daddy.
He's
You're selling with this, Lee?
Yeah, I am. I'm totally selling this. So Pete will give you an idea of how this sounds. Comes with a gig bag and will cost £999. And I believe, whereas
so about one Freddo.
Yeah, this and this are available either from Andertons or from our friends at Chicago Music Exchange. This, I believe, is just available at Andertons. Apologies, other dealers, if you've got these and I've got that wrong. But certainly, I'm fairly sure this was an Andertons exclusive, this one. Anyway.
Here's a chord. That sounds great. Feels great. Nicely rolled board, all that stuff. Let me just demonstrate the difference between the Noiseless pickups and this one here. While I got it anyway. No, I'm just gonna. So there you go. That's the difference. Much more noise.
I see what you're saying.
Just because the other one was completely quiet, wasn't it? Anyway.
Sounds great.
Middle position. That's and then position 2.
And that's with the. Okay, so you've got a coil tap on the.
That's what we talked about. There's no. It's if you want to pull this out, it's a bit fiddly. So I'll get my thumbnail and I just go.
I almost feel like these on the Ultra.
They've got
like a rubberized. What do you call the sort of the ridges are sort of rubberized. And
they're lovely.
And I kind of feel like on the you wouldn't be a bad shout to just replace that back tone control with one of those ones that's got little rubberized kind of outer.
I'll just put the nail under there. Boom! It's super easy, like that. Or
fine.
Let's see.
But so that position 2 there was with the humbucker on.
Yeah. So here's the humbucker. On. That's a good sounding split. See how easy I'm doing that with my thumb?
I always feel, again, you'll have seen stuff. I think that's actually quite a good example of why coil tapped humbuckers. We're not massive fans because you go from that neck pickup to the coil.
It's a nice linear.
That's how we want it. That was specifically, I think, when we put an HSS set together. You don't want that back humbucker to sort of go like, wow.
Yeah, either that or that.
Yeah,
you want it like that, but a bigger, fatter tone, right? So here's it's a split now. You're
losing something. So again, that's not really that typically is a criticism, I think, of pretty much all humbuckers.
Yes.
Interestingly, there is another Fender humbucker called the Double Tap, which has a slightly different, where one of the coils is bigger than the other coil. So when you coil tap
That's a great idea.
it goes to the bigger coil. So you don't quite get that. And I know PRS on the 2408 have got some, and on Paul's guitar, so I think manufacturers are kind of getting there. But yes, typically, anyway. So
that's why you need to keep buying more guitar all the time.
Slightly critical of a guitar that we've spec'd up here ourselves, people.
Anyway, so I'll put a bit of Dane on.
Woof! Oh yes, baby. I like that.
It's the middle position. Position 2. So that's humbucker and middle put together. And full humbucker. Split. That's okay.
Right. I think, Pete, I would like to forego our jam out just so that you can just play a bit on here. Because I kind of feel like people should hear the Ultra Strat kind of played.
It was good, man.
By a professional.
Good. Oh, stop it.
And then that's it. We'll call it a day. So Pete will have a little noodle out on here. Long. As mentioned, so Fender special run guitars are not ongoing models. They are built in one run, and then typically, unless they've been incredibly popular and we decide to do it again, you'll never see them again. So if you're thinking, oh, I really, really like that,
this is nice.
It's time to go and sell an essential organ.
Or a child.
And buy one from Andertons.
If anybody wants to buy 3 children, I've got 3 to... They don't do anything at all, but, they'll sit around. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.